हेलो दोस्तों, कैसे हैं आप? अच्छे ही होंगे। एंड मैं चाहता भी हूँ कि आप बहुत अच्छे हो एंड अच्छे रहो। एंड भगवान जी आपको खूब सारे एक्सपीरियंसेस दे लाइफ में, हर एक चीज़ का आपको एक्सपीरियंस हो जिससे कि आपको बहुत बहुत अच्छा लगेगा। लाइक दैट्स द एंटायर पॉइंट ऑफ दिस वीडियो विच आई विल बी ट्राइंग टू एक्सप्लेन इन दिस वीडियो। सो हाँ, तो फिर this is personally my venting space. I open up my camera and I talk about stuff which I like to talk about, and talking about that makes me think. And then when I upload it, I will like if somebody gives me different opinions or probably agree with me and have a bunch of insights around that topic. All right. So what I have been going through these days is one situation that I have been finding myself becoming too selfless, if that's the right word, because I have quite some friends, and those bunch of friends, I feel like in this part of my life, or from quite some while, I have been giving multiple efforts to people, and they have been trying to resonate back, but they haven't been able to. So that's one part of the video, and which makes me, like, in my life, that makes me quite dissatisfied with what has been happening to me, because it makes me disappointed when I get to know that okay, this happened and I stood for them right here, but they didn't or couldn't. So I feel quite some misery in that, the fact that I tried to stand for them, and probably there are chances where I might have not, but I try to do it regularly, and but what I get back is not the same. But it's not like they don't effort back; they do, but there must be something due to which my desired response does not get to me. So let me make it much more simpler. What I what I'm trying to present. So what is happening is that since quite some while, I feel like my friends are good friends, obviously, and they have my back. But I've been trying to do some things, and I don't get their support enough in my good times or either the bad times. Like I've tried to invite them into my celebrations, or I've tried to have a shoulder to lay on or to cry on when things go wrong with me. For me, yes, for me might be the right word. So at that moment, I feel like, oh Lord, why is my friend being so selfish? Or this is one of the lower aspects of my thoughts which might try to intrude in, and then I try to give it some critical answers that no, this might not be the case. So this insight which I have gotten is basically a conversation which happened between me, my lower self, and my higher self. And this is what I realized today when I was out with a friend, helping him, but involuntarily. I was not happy helping him, and I was not happy in the company where there were a bunch of friends. I was not happy because what was going on in my mind was the fact that if I were there in like if I had asked the favor, none of them would have come to help me, and which was in fact also justified, because after we helped that guy, I had a little work to do, and I asked these guys to come along, which they could not. But that's the point. What's the point I'm trying to make is that it's life is not static. It is not static. It does not revolve that okay, it's not very transactional in nature, that okay, he has done this to me, now I will be expecting this, and at this moment and right in time, everything will be like this and this. I don't think life works like that, because with me, what has been happening is that now imagine the situation. We were there uh, we were helping this guy whom we helped today. From We left our hostel at, I think so, 3, and we got back at 6:30. And then my other friends have had to do some work, so they went to some other place at 6:30 and came back around 7:30. And then I asked them, I had previously asked them if they would go along with me to do some of my work after we helped this guy, the first guy, at 5:30, at 6:30. So they were like, yeah, but then their work popped up and they prioritized that, and they promised me that they would come back and then we might go. But the fact is, they have been traveling from 4.5 hours, and probably in such a heat they cannot resist this heat, and they tried they called it off because, well, it is hot outside, and which makes quite some sense. So what I have been trying to deliver through this instance is that try to look into somebody else's shoes. Now I might feel that okay, this guy does not help me, and if I try and be very transactional in such a sense, then it makes me very shallow in nature and very futile. And so there's one more thing which has been happening with me. So this is another instance I will like to express it. So what is happening is that this is the season where people shift. I'm in a university right now, and people are shifting from one hostel to another, from one hostel to another, flat to PG to host, hostels. So this has been happening these days, and I was expecting at least 6 of my friends to be visiting and to be landing in my uh, PG where I live. So I was expecting that these guys must be with me, but situations have been formed in such a manner that one guy did not is not coming to my city itself where I live. Then another has a home nearby, so he is planning to travel. And one is living quite, like, he has a college in the city I'm living in right now, but quite far away, so why would he travel, right? And one other guy, this guy has other friends, and he has partnered up with them to join a flat together, so he has already been occupied. So in such a sense, I got multiple heartbreaks in a platonic sense of the word, which told me which taught me a lot of things. And it taught me, firstly, that do not uh, settle for less in such, in your case as well. So what I was originally doing was that when one of my friends refused to be like to shift with me, I took the word and I said, okay, okay, I will be shifting with you, and I will be taking it an up I will be taking one for the team. And then we also agreed that okay, if there's a 2 BHK and we are like 3 people, so I will be living in the hall. It's okay, I can live in the hall, and while you two can go and live in your rooms, and it's fine. So like I was lowering my standards quite a lot, just for the sake that they will be living with me and I will be having a good time, which I would have, honestly. But the fact is that they would equally be having such a good time, and if they are not ready to negotiate, now this is also not transactional in nature. This is just some of my boundaries which I learned. If they are not happy to settle for less just to be in my company, then I might, and it's not a problem for me. But I love myself, and it's not about that. It's about uh, to prioritize yourself sometimes uh, more than anything. So that's one thing. And then what I also learned from this is that, wait, let me brainstorm. I forgot what I had to say. Yes. And the second thing which I learned from this experience is that leave it on the divine will. I swear to God, this is the best advice I've ever received, or rather, I have ever thought of and came into acceptance. They came in terms with it. So it is that believe in the divine order. Whatever He is doing for the very right reasons, and you will not regret it when once you understand the larger picture. So I was wondering. So also that my what am I doing? Okay. So I cannot go into much personal details, but I also was fearing that the people I live with right now are also shifting to a flat. They are trying to shift to a flat. So I was also fearing that they might also go, and then I will be left friendless and like less social, because then there will be no friends. But then I was really happy with the fact that uh, the new batch will come, and then there will be many who will be joining in my PG, and then there will be many who will become my new potential friends, and which brought me to a lot of joy. So it's the fact that so like currently I have been co-founding a company with my PG mate, but so like I was also fearing that what would happen to the startup, but I was like okay, if that's his will, that he is planning to move out and manage it, so fair enough, I can also manage it. He must have thought about it before leaving. So if he did, so be it. I am nobody to stop, and probably things are going for good. And what if somebody, whoever new comes in with in RPG, might give me some better ideas and become a good friend, not discarding that the other guy is not my friend anymore. But yeah, so well, I couldn't deliver probably my conclusion, but it is that leave it on the God's will. Everything happens for a reason. It's by this I do not mean that it is predestined and it is everything is already written, but everything truly happens um, with his drishti, God's drishti. So haji, so that is what I feel about life and my experiences. I will love if anybody comments down and shares their opinion. Yes, thank you. Have a good day. I need to learn how to smile. So, yes, have a good day.